I'm not sure if I watched the fourth or not. What happened in the fourth?
I don't really remember, because I watched them during COVID when we had all the time, and then I don't remember when I watched the fourth season, so I don't really remember what it was and what was in it.
I feel like I saw the full season.
You might have. I mean, I don't want to.
It wasn't recent, right?
No, the fourth season came out like
you're able to watch it in
ago.
COVID, right?
Yeah. Well, I think a bunch of it dropped before COVID hit. So then when COVID hit, I just kind of binge watched a bunch of it. I like that sweatshirt. But then season 5, this is the last season they're doing, and they dropped the first 4 episodes on Thanksgiving Day, and then I was talking to Tom, and he said they're gonna drop. There's 4 more episodes. They're dropping the next 3 on Christmas Day, and then they're dropping the last episode New Year's Eve. It's going to be a 2-hour-long episode, and when they drop it, he said at 5 o'clock is when it gets dropped, I guess. They're going to also release it in select theaters.
Oh, interesting.
To do the 2-hour-long final episode.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, that's the second time. I mean, I guess it's 2 hours, so it's like a movie.
And it's the final episode of the entire series.
That's gonna be big. Like when Star Wars drops, it's gonna be big. Like in the theater, like mad people are gonna go. That was like I didn't know that's the only other show I've heard in theaters. That show, The Chosen. Well, really? They dropped that in
the last episode.
No, when they rolled out this current season, or like last season was one, they would do like 3 episodes back to back. So it was like 2 hours, 3 or 4 episodes. So it was like 2 hours, and it would just be like 3 episodes back to back. They were saying she told me she went and saw it in theaters.
Huh. Well, I guess more like TV shows are more like these bigger TV shows are like movie productions.
Yeah. I mean, they have budgets that a lot of movies don't even have. Like Stranger Things per episode is like a lot of like smaller movie budgets.
Yeah, after I finished the first 4 episodes, there's so much time. I went back and started season 1 again, and like you can see how little of a budget compared to this season there was. Like showing the Demogorgon for the first time, and like how he goes in it like from the upside down world to the real world.
Yeah.
Like to like now, whenever they go into there's like huge rifts and stuff. Yeah, it's like super CG. So it's super crazy. So it's funny to see the from first episode to now is crazy.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen from it, because I haven't like watched anything, is I just keep seeing memes of they just keep making memes of like Will. I guess Will kicked ass in it because his character Will. Yeah, because it's just memes. It'll be like trap music videos, and they're AI-ing Will over top.
Yeah. Not to get spoiler or anything, but yeah, it's pretty good. They're wrapping some things together and stuff like this. It's pretty exciting.
It's so hard nowadays. I don't be feeling bad. It's like, I mean, I guess for like our age range, I don't feel bad spoiling, because it's like if you use social media, it's so hard to
everywhere.
But like now I think like grandma's gonna watch this. There, she watches. She's never seen a spoiler because she's not on, maybe on Facebook, but
yeah. I'm in not in like the social media culture, but I'm in like the gaming and anime and all this other culture. So like I don't like when things get spoiled for me, so I try to do the same for others. So like I try not to talk about things too much when I talk to people about things, just because out of respect. Because like doing others what you want to do it to yourself. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I was gonna wait to watch it until all of it dropped because I just wanted to binge it all back to back. But then one of the dudes at the liquor store, he's got no one. There's no one at the shop who watched the show. So he was like, "Did you watch Stranger Things?" I was like, "I watched the first 4 seasons." He's like, "I want you to watch the season 5. The first 4 episodes dropped." I was like, "Fine, I'll watch them." And I watched them over the weekend. They're really good.
They're an hour long, right?
They're about the first episode was like an hour 15. The second one was like 57 minutes. It jumps around the hour mark. That's
also a thing that's changed with like TV shows. Is normally like your show is either 30 minutes or an hour because you had slots, and now it's like shows will like kind of range around.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways,
but yeah, the intro of Stranger Things, but. What's going on?
We're back.
Yeah. Nice little Thanksgiving break.
Took a week off. Now we're back. A little hectic of a schedule and holiday and all that stuff, and this, now we're back on it. Back on it.
Yes, sir. Right back to it. It feels like it's been like months since we recorded. I feel like so much, especially now that like I just started time tracking my days. I started yesterday. I was doing. I have a spreadsheet with like half an hour increments, but today I switched it to 15 minutes.
Shit.
So I'm logging, and whenever I'm doing every 15 minutes, then I can actually like I'm gonna have like throw it in like ChatGPT and have it like break down what I'm spending time on and really try to like.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, because it was a tip I was watching somebody talking about how to delegate in your company, and that was what they like recommended to do. Because then you can see that what takes you most time. Like, that's where you hire somebody to do this thing. You train them to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
So I started doing that, but ever since I started doing that, it's like also forcing me to not like not do anything, like sit down on my phone 15 minutes. Then I'm like I gotta log that is so I'm really like days are feeling so much longer. So it feels like it's been years since we sat down and did an episode. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I worked a lot last week because holiday season and whatnot, but we'll see what happens. Nobody watched it. I might have a different job in my pocket, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that.
I was talking to Mom about it.
You think you're talking to Grandma too? You were telling her about it at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I got some friends who work at a motorcycle dealership, and the one was like joked about it with me for a while, just like, oh, you should come work at the dealership. Come work at the dealership. I don't work at the dealership. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I forget what was going on, but I was talking. We were in Discord. We were playing games or whatever one night. No, maybe it wasn't then. I don't remember when she first brought it up. But then when I had the Friendsgiving, the week before Thanksgiving, I think it was. I don't remember how the conversation got brought up, but we were talking about work stuff, and then I guess there's a dude who works there at her job who's getting fired or is quitting or something of that nature. And she was like, "Oh, you should. I'll give you the come in blah blah blah." And I was like, if it matches the pay or more, and it's got the same hours or less, I'm for it. If you want, I'll come in for an interview, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like the quality of life will be better, and then it's like a real job.
Yeah.
Compared to what I'm doing now, which is technically a real job, but there's no day that the liquor store is closed, in the entire year. They never close the store.
Oh, wow.
So, holidays are fucked. Working there, I lose all my holidays.
Yeah.
But at this other place, I'd get all national holidays off. So it's your big ones, Christmas and blah, blah, blah. You get, Columbus Day or something like that off. And a couple other ones throughout the year. And she was saying how it's, there's benefits and stuff, too.
Mm.
So it's go in for an interview, talk to the guy, whatever. So I'm just waiting to hear from her. But it would be cool. I'll make more per hour, and I might end up with a little less hours because originally we thought it was a full-time gig. It would be a 9 to 6. It's guaranteed overtime. Every day is 9 hours. But then she was telling me the other day that the position when the last guy was holding the position, he was only doing it was part-time. And she asked if that was a problem for me. I said, as long as I can make the same amount of money or more, I'm cool with it. Because he was only working 1 to 6. And it's 5 days a week. It's Sunday and Mondays off, which is nice. And it's not that far. It's 15 minutes from the house. So it's not that bad. And I talked to Eric about it because he's worked at a dealership for many years now. I just seen if he had any opinions and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'm for it because I love working with Tom and I love working with Tina, but because I have so much respect and I'll do whatever you need me to do, I get the short end of the stick most of the time.
Yeah.
It's hey, whatever you need, you tell me, I got you. And it's can you work Thanksgiving? Can you work this holiday? Can you stay another hour? Can you pick up another day? It's it's always something. And I'll be mad, but I'll do it. Out of love for her, because she always gets the short end of the stick. They're both shift managers, but Tina holds more responsibility, and the owners put more on her shoulders, and they come to her with everything. So if they're watching the cameras to see what the employees are doing, which I don't think they do very often, it's more of a security thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if they see people standing around during downtime, if there's literally nothing to do, I understand if there's stuff to do.
Yeah.
But then they'll go to Tina and they'll be hey, people are just standing around, and then so she gets yelled at for it. So then she comes and talks. Whoever's on shift or whatever. So I feel bad for her because they're always up her ass about everything. So I don't like working, but if I'm working a job, I'm above and beyond. I'm usually on cooler duty, So it's all the beer stuff, no wines. I don't want to deal with the wines. It's just too much. It's the weirdest names and there's shit everywhere. But like I'm on Cool Duty, so I'll just make sure it's like top tier. It's like everything is as good as it possibly can be when I leave.
Yeah.
Because like today, I work 9 to 5. I was covering some other shift, but my days might get switched around. I might take this shift more often. And she works 5 to close. So when I leave, I have to make sure the cooler is like perfect for her.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really have to pay attention at all or deal with it.
Yeah.
She's just got to pull things forward. So I do my best to be on top of everything for her. But, you know, it's fun. It's okay. But I like working with people that I'm working with because I know a bunch of them and they're like good people and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean I think that's way more to me. I mean, obviously I have the worst perspective on working a job, but to me, I think like who you work with seems more important or is more important than the job you're doing to me, like personally. And I'm now the only it's funny that I'm getting the perspective of working a job from trying to build a business and like all like the different stuff I'm learning. And like one of the points I'm learning with like building a company is they're gonna care more about it's like when you hire people, one of the things in your hiring thing should be, do you like them? Even if they're the perfect employee, if you don't like them as a person, you can't be around them. It doesn't matter how good of a person they are, do whatever task. It's like you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, because a good connection with an employee or a coworker can make a bad job good, but a bad connection can make a great job horrible.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, because the connection is something you can't you can't train it, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
But like skills, do this thing like you can't train. That's what I think I've leaned into, like trying to get you involved and get people involved. It's like I'd rather know I already like somebody and then just teach them whatever I need versus find somebody that could do it perfectly and not like them and then just like hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't have all the extra bills and stuff to pay for, I wouldn't pick up a job. But things happen, you know.
Yeah.
Cats almost die, and
I was joking with Mom about because I asked her. So Mom, just I guess some context. Our mom in her basement has a window her window that looks out. It's like one of those little windows in the basement looks out, and the stray cat, the Rosie, comes and would stay by there. And then I was joking with her today. I was like, "Are you putting her?" Because she would set up like the bed thing for her for the winter, and I was like, "You putting that out this year?" She was like, "Oh, she doesn't really come around anymore." And I was like, "Yeah, because Taco moved." Her and Taco used to sit on the other side. And I was like, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, "Yo, like Taco's been through a lot since he last saw her. If they ever saw each other, they'd be like, I almost died." Like,
I also think the neighbor takes her. She did it last year. She took her in for the winter.
Oh, okay. Because when I said to Mom, she was like, "She already has 2." I guess the neighbor has 2, and one of them's heated. So he's like, "Yeah, she's good."
Yeah, because I think last year or the year before, for the winter months, like it was probably like a 3-month span or so, because it gets so cold out. Rosie's a stray.
Yeah.
Cats would be cats, but she caught her in a carrier or whatever, and then because she got 2 cats, she got to keep them separate, and then Rosie doesn't have any shots and these things.
Yeah.
So she kept her in her bathroom or something. For the month so that she wouldn't freeze to death. She could really take care of her and feed her and blah 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 blah. And then once it got warm again, she just let her go. And then she just lives in the area. But
I was talking to Mom about her cat. So I was like, I just want to take her cat. I want to take Toothless or her cat and just show her to Rosie and be like, look it, that's what you could be. And then bring her back inside. I guess going on strays or bro. So I'm on this. Raccoons. Wanted a pet raccoon. I'm getting all my stuff in my feet and just people having pet raccoons, and I'm like, I want a pet raccoon. And then I see something the other day of the states it's illegal to have a pet raccoon.
Is Jersey one of them?
Jersey's one of them. I sent it to Mom. She was like, I guess you gotta move. I'm like, damn, I can't have. But I don't know how I would acquire a pet raccoon. You have to find it in the because it's not like there's a shelter. I can get a stray dog. You go to a shelter.
You can probably
Oh, there's probably
fine places
rescued a raccoon that doesn't have a home.
I mean, you could catch one in the wild, but that's.
But then I'm like, am I taking it away from it? I gotta find one and somehow know that it doesn't have its family. I gotta find an orphaned raccoon. I don't know how I would decipher that.
Yeah, me and Mom will just eventually move to a state that raccoons are legal. Because I've wanted one for a while. There's a page on Instagram that I follow, and it's literally just like raccoons sleeping in like huts and stuff. It's like the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
There was a. Is it Sanchez the raccoon? There's an Instagram page that I follow, or used to follow. I don't know if I still do. And it was a dude who owned a raccoon, and he just posted the raccoon all the time. Cause like, if you like train them, they're like really intelligent.
Yeah, they're like really I mean, the videos that I know, but they're like dogs with hands. They're like dog and cats with hands.
Yeah, they're really funny.
They're definitely like up on my tier list of stray, or I guess not stray, but wild animals. Foxes. Have you ever seen videos of domesticated foxes?
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, those are cool. I'm trying to think.
The little finnick foxes are crazy.
Which one? They're like
a little smaller, and they have like huge ears.
Oh, I know what you. Okay, I've seen. Yeah,
they're so cute.
The foxes be laughing like humans. The videos.
Yeah, it's like cackling stuff.
Yeah, that would be a little creepy. Just laying in bed and you just from down the hall, you just hear like this maniacal
It's
laugh.
like snickering in the other room. The foxes are cool. Coyotes are the ones you have to watch out for. Those things are nasty. Like coyotes are known to like befriend the dog. Like if there's coyotes in your area, it'll like befriend the dog, so that it can trick it to and then they'll kill it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Coyotes are nasty.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, foxes would be sick.
There's a couple other ones like those are cool.
Possums are not like cute, but I was like, you've probably seen the one video of the guy. He's like sitting outside and his wife walks up.
Yeah, I have seen that video.
And he's sitting with the possum and he's like playing.
She's like, "What are you doing?"
She's like, he's just hanging out.
She's like, "Put that down." Yeah, he's just bugging out.
But I didn't know that possums don't get rabies. I never knew that until that video. He said it and then I googled it. Yeah, they're like very unlikely to get rabies. Which I mean, I guess that makes them a slightly better pet. And
they're nasty little things. They like hiss and shit.
Yeah.
There's one that kind of hangs out around Mom's house.
Yeah, I see him often.
I almost walked into him the one day because the neighbor leaves all the cat food out.
Yeah.
So we'll go over there and eat. And I was leaving Mom's house and it was dark. And I'm walking on the sidewalk and I'm looking to the left because Rosie was to the left. I'm like, "Hi, Rosie," and I got to where her sidewalk is. And I hear like a scurrying and like a hissing, and I look, and this thing's like, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, bro."
Yeah.
Kind of like walked past him, just made sure he didn't chase me. I didn't even fucking bite me or nothing.
You just running down the street, the possum chasing you.
Yeah.
The possums are like, I don't know if it's just like you see it in movies, but like they play dead. So I feel like you could just scare a possum and it will just play dead. If
they do that.
Unlike there was a skunk that hung around in her house for a while. I'd go there at like 2 a.m. after leaving here. And I would just hit a skunk, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not. But one day he was in front of that same neighbor's house, and then went in the bushes in between that neighbor. Like
that's awesome.
And it went in there, and it was just in there, and I was like, well, I don't want to walk by and scare it and get sprayed, so I just didn't go. I was like, well, I guess I'm not stealing Mom's food tonight, and then I just left. I went over to your house.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I've seen the skunk a couple times. It's been a while though. I don't think it's in the area right now.
I think maybe like probably I would assume because it was getting colder that it probably did whatever skunks do and
some type of hibernation. It probably went towards the woods or it died. But we won't really know. We don't really know.
Yeah, get a bunch of property, just start domesticating every animal again. A squirrel, a deer.
It's pretty funny. A deer. This is my deer, Sally.
And if you feed it enough, it just keeps coming.
Yeah, for real. I mean, there's enough of them in the woods. You see them at night sometimes when you're pulling into town. Just go out there with a bag of corn. Just start feeding them.
Mom almost got a goose yesterday.
What?
I think they're on this morning. I think it was this morning she was telling me that. This morning or yesterday morning when she went for a walk with Spanky at one of the parks. I think Mohawk or one of the parks that she'd be walking in. She said there was a goose and it looked like its leg was like stuck on its wing, like it was like its leg wasn't like down and it was like kind of like just standing there. And then she was like, "Oh my god, like I gotta help this goose." But there was like a whole bunch of them and they all kind of went into the water and like he followed into the water. She was like, "All right, okay, it's fine." And then she went for the walk and like however half an hour later when she got back around, they were all gone except for this one. And she was like, "Oh my god, they flew away, like they left them. Like, do I go back?" And so I don't think she ended up just coming home.
You kiddo. There's just a goose.
She was like, "No, I gotta take care of it." I was like, "Oh, great, we're gonna have a goose now." I was like, "Now y'all got bird. I had my bird that I had to rescue here. She's got a bird."
If you come home and Mom's got a goose in the house, you can be like, "Now I get a raccoon."
Yeah. I'm just gonna bring a raccoon. If I come in and just her and Goose, the cat, Spanky's shaking in the corner.
That's so funny. Yeah, I like raccoons. Like I know that like Japanese culture, there's like a something having to do with them. They call them tanukis. Like Mario has a hat he puts on. He becomes like a raccoon. It's the tanuki hat. They're like
that's in one of the Studio Ghibli movies, right? Because that sounds familiar.
That's the raccoon one with the big balls.
Oh, okay. Oh, because they call them tanuki. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing. I think it's like it might be like a different like species or version of
reskinned raccoon.
Yeah. They got the premium battle pass skin or something. Yeah.
I bought my new raccoon skin.
But they're like. I don't want to say they're like seen as yokai, but to a degree they're seen as yokai, like demons or ghosts or something. I don't know if they're like supposed to bring good luck or bad luck or whatever, but they're seen just how they are in that movie, where they're supposed to like have transforming powers and stuff and all and these things. I know I looked into them for a while because I do have a little bit of an obsession with raccoons, kind of like how you do. And the ones that are over like in like the Japan region and stuff, they're not like the ones that we have here. The ones that we have here look more like bandits. The ones there look more like dogs almost.
Really?
I think they're a little bit smaller too. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, ours look like little bandits and they're like round.
Yeah, I think the ones over there are a little bit more brown than black. Ours here are like gray and black. And then their faces are a little bit different. Like their head structure is a little different. Yeah, I think this is a little. I mean, going to different parts of the world, animals look different. It's like different species of Pokemon or something.
Yeah. Which is wild, being from like, I've realized how I'm so like Americanized that everything here, I just assume that's what everything is. And then you like
squirrels is one. We have squirrels here, and they're not in all parts of the world. They're in only very short sections of the world.
Interesting. Yeah, like I would like. I mean, I didn't even know there was black squirrels, and they're in the States. And I didn't even know they really just thought everyone had gray squirrels. They all run around everywhere.
Yeah. I know there's some parts that don't have squirrels. I think somewhere in Asia there, it might be Japan. I don't think it's China, but then I think that like parts of Europe doesn't have squirrels. I mean, you could double check me, but I'm pretty sure that squirrels are primarily like an American thing, and then like white-tailed deer I think are an American thing.
I mean, yeah, because there's like moose and stuff other places like Canada.
Well, there's moose more north, like the colder regions. I know that like I had an example, but now it's slipping me. Like I think horses are not native to North America. I think when North America was getting settled, they brought a bunch of horses over and then they just kind of bred. And then like you can find elk only in certain spots. You can find like gazelle only in certain spots. Like that's why like lions and tigers aren't native here. Yeah. Or like pandas. Pandas are only found in China, I believe.
Yeah.
So like every panda that's in captivity is proper. It's like rented out from China. It's like property of China.
Interesting.
So like, again, don't quote me on this, and you can look it up if you want.
Yeah, this is just a podcast where we just say such as fact.
Talking nonsense. But like, if you were to go to a zoo and purposefully kill a panda, you'd have to deal with the Chinese government. I'm almost certain about that. Because pandas are
a crazy
only
business scheme
from
to just be renting out your indigenous animals. We gotta start renting out white-tailed deer to China. Yeah. Like put a white-tailed deer in your zoo.
Yeah, and I think bears are similar in different parts of the world.
What are zoos like in other places? Like they're like
I think
I've only seen zoos like American zoos. I feel like I never like see pictures of like.
I think that for the most part, zoos are more of an American thing. I know that. I mean, I don't have a lot of knowledge in most of the world. I have more knowledge of Japan than anywhere else in the world, so I can only speak for things in there. I know they have like aquariums and stuff, but I think that places that do have zoos are very similar to American zoos, where they just bring in a bunch of animals that aren't really native, so that people can go and see them.
Also, I feel like a lot of other countries have like a lot of cooler animals. Like we don't like the animals that you see in the wild here are like bear, deer. And then like foxes and raccoons and stuff like that. Yeah. They don't have like giraffes or lions or like the things that like other countries that have those just.
Yeah.
That's why to live somewhere where there's just wild gorillas is wild to think about.
That's nuts. Yeah, I don't know where gorillas are native to.
Africa, jungles somewhere.
Maybe it's South America, like the rainforest.
Yeah, it has to be.
I don't really know.
Whatever looks like Tarzan movie. That's something.
True. But I had another one. It slipped me again. Something about animals. Something about.
This is an animal heavy podcast.
Yeah, just kind of going.
Like cows. I knew that, and then we looked that up on Thanksgiving. That cows, there are no wild cows.
That's true.
The way you picture cows, like that was like when I learned that, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I guess you don't you only see them on farms, like
mm-hmm.
so like.
Oh, I was saying about bears, because there's black bears and brown bears, and then there's polar bears. Those are like the three main known ones. There's a couple of other versions of bears, and some of them are like really aggressive. But like obviously polar bears are only in like the I think they're only in the Antarctic. I don't think they're north. I think they're only in south. Again, quote me on double check me on that. But yeah, polar bears are like nasty because they're.
Yo, I was gonna say, I never knew how polar bears are like the most vicious bears, and I never.
Well, it's almost intentional because most bears are omnivores. Mm-hmm. They'll eat both. Polar bears, they might too, but they can only eat meat.
Yeah, there's no green. There's not an abundance of greens where we find polar bears, and they can smell a drop of blood. They're like sharks. They can smell a drop of blood from like a minute away, and they like lock onto it.
They just go.
Yeah, it's just they're like, scary. And growing up, I always picture like a black bear is like scary, and polar bears are just like these cuddly white bears, and it's like nah, like you put a polar bear in this room right now. It'll fuck everything up.
I blame Coca-Cola for that one because they always have them drinking the.
Yeah, it is Coca-Cola that made polar bears seem like they were just like friendly. I guess because we don't run into them, so it's like who cares? But like, if you had like bear for bear, polar bears are the scariest.
Yeah. For sure they are. There's another bear. I don't remember what it's called, and I don't know where it is. I think it's got like a long nose. Those things are vicious too. Like they're feral. They just kill. But I remember hearing about it, but I don't remember what.
Is it black bears or brown bears that are like more docile? Because isn't there one that like you're supposed to act big and scary, and one that the other one you're not.
I don't remember which one's which.
That's the problem. I'm gonna I'm gonna do the wrong. I'm gonna try to scare the wrong one. The one time for get big. Oh nope, wrong one. I'm gonna get down.
You go like this, and he goes like this. You go, oh shit.
No, wrong. Sorry, wrong one. No, like the one time for my birthday, like 2 years ago. When I rented a house for everybody here.
Oh, I remember this. You told me
Bro, we were at the back door. And from like here to like where that wall is, it was like a bear right there just walking by in the backyard.
That's like 8 feet, just for reference.
Yeah, it was like right there. Like, it's this pane of glass between us. Like, right there.
There's a pane of glass between you and a bear.
And then there was the other time years ago when my friends, grown up friends, I think it was TJ. We were driving out, leaving the house, upstate Pennsylvania. We were driving, maybe we were all together. I don't remember if I was just told the story so many times that I feel like I was there. But they were, driving, and it's just a bear is just walking by, and it's just like, oh, hi, bear. And it just keeps walking. It's just...
Yeah, and to kind of, wrapping around on this animal topic, Australia has all the craziest things.
Yeah, that thank God that place is an island.
Yeah.
Because Australia looks cool. I don't they're
good.
I have no reason to go there.
I'll never go there.
Not even the crazy animals. The spiders that's what
crazy.
I'm so good on anywhere that there's spider. The videos are just the giant spiders bigger than my hand. I just feel like
spiders.
And they have to catch them. They have to catch them because you can't hit them with something. Nah.
I just have a shotgun and blow.
I'm so happy that keep that island right there.
That one, and then also another place in the world that has animals that are uniquely to that place is Madagascar.
Oh, okay.
Madagascar is...
It's the islands.
Yeah,
they just... Mm-hmm. I don't know what's good with islands, but it really cultivates the most, drop people in there and just... Yeah, Battle Royale. Just have people drop in. And
that's not fun. I think Madagascar is off the east coast of somewhere in Africa. And it's this tiny little island. And it has, the most exotic creatures you could ever imagine. Anything that's super exotic is probably from Madagascar. It's crazy work, man.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good being American, going to zoos, looking at stuff. I'll look online.
Just watch it online.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool bird.
Yeah, and then that's not even including the ocean, which is a whole other the things that are.
You'll never catch them in the ocean.
Yeah. Well, in a boat out on sea, nah, I'm good. I'll go on a boat where right here on the shoreline, but going out, nah. I heard it somewhere. It's what's more terrifying, space or the ocean? Like to you?
To me personally,
yeah.
The ocean for sure.
Yeah, I see the ocean because it's like right there. Like the things that are terrifying is like more are different, obviously, because like in space, as far as we know, there's no like predators that are coming to get you. It's just black void.
It's just emptiness.
But the idea that it's like if I get detached from this, it is just black void.
Yeah.
Is pretty But like the animals in the ocean, like the sharks and stuff, freak me out. But then just like the pictures, like a TikTok, I think ruined it. You ever get the videos where it's like the massive boats and it's the giant waves? Like that's what like the idea like getting lost at sea just on a raft is like terrifying. But then picturing that in a storm where it's like waves the size
like
of like
70-foot waves.
Yeah, like the size of buildings. Like
I'm good. Yeah, nature's terrifying, man. It's beautiful, but it's so scary. I hate the ocean.
The ocean's probably like maybe my worst fear. Like I'm good on that. I'm trying to think of like anything else that would be more. I have no idea.
I don't like planes, but you catch me in a plane faster than you catch me on a boat.
Oh yeah, I'll go on a plane 100 times before I would go out to like take a boat from one country to another. No shot,
bro. And people were doing that hundreds of years ago. On wooden ships.
Wooden ships, no motors.
With sails.
Yeah, just
across the ocean.
People died.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's no way to track that boat. That boat goes down. You're cooked. You're drifted until you hit land.
No, you just drown. There's nothing. I think they took this path.
That's what people like when you get lost at sea. It's like we'll just wait to get rescued. It's like, what do you think? You're gonna run into somebody? Look at the ocean.
I mean, more modern times, it's a little bit more understandable to think you might get rescued by someone because there are like set paths and stuff. And I'm assuming back then there were set paths too. But with the technology that we have now, it's easier to like stay within a path.
Yeah.
But back then, it was like a little harder. I mean, a lot of my understanding is, I mean, now with technology it's probably different, but my understanding is a lot of naval. What's the word I'm looking for? Like navigation has to do with like the horizon and the stars.
They still keep it pretty like rudimentary is the wrong word, but like where it's like not it's like use the stars and
I mean with technology it's a little bit easier, but like back in the day, I know a lot of like they would sail during the day and then when night came, I think they would use the stars and they had like maps and stuff to base off the stars because there's the North Star, so you can always tell which way is north. So if like tonight you're going this way and the North Star is over here, and the next night it's not in the same spot, you know that you're not going in the same direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
But I think that they would use other constellations and other combinations of stars, for lack of better terms, to kind of get where they're going. And I think that they also had like old technology that I couldn't even think about. I wouldn't even begin to guess where they were like using like charts and like these fucking
like a sundial.
Yeah, I mean I think a sundial is a little bit more for telling time, but
I wouldn't know. I'd be out there with a sundial. Like I think we go 3 p.m.
The sun says the shadow's here, so I think we go that way. Now we're only at 6. It's 6 o'clock, Corey.
Wow, this ocean's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But then also like, I think it's kind of crazy. Well, this is an interesting episode. It's just a bunch of random facts we're just talking about. I think it's also kind of crazy how
Nat Geo sponsored episode.
Nat Geo is just gonna hit us up. I think it's crazy how like the Earth is kind of like a water planet because like
we're like 70% water.
It's so much water, but then also like the way that land it shifts and the way that land is created is based off of tectonic plates and tectonic shifting. So like when the plates get pushed together, the land rises. Like it's how mountains are made. So when they separate more, it goes down. So like theoretically speaking, if all of the land kind of separated, all of the land would go down. You know what I mean? Like all the plates are.
That is interesting to think that it would just be like a water planet.
It's crazy.
The same way the sun is just a ball of fire, it would just be a ball of water.
I mean, we used to be a water planet for a period of time back in the olden days when the world got flooded.
Yeah, if you go off Noah's Ark, yeah.
You see those videos? They've been popping up recently. I don't know how old they are. Of like dudes finding seashells and stuff on the top of mountains.
Yeah. There's like a whole. I found out. I was watching something recently talking about like like linking like Noah's Ark and like proving it would like act like the flood actually happened based on stuff like that, like finding stuff you only find in the ocean up top, or like they found certain algae that are only in the ocean at the tops of mountains.
Yep.
Yeah,
that one gets me, and then the other one that gets me is the location of where the Ark was found. The nearest village to that, I don't know the name. It's not an English name, but it translates to like village of 6 or village. I think it's village of 8 or something like that. And like the people who came off of Noah's Ark, there was 8 of them. It was Noah, his wife, I think it was his 3 sons, and their 3 wives. That's 8 people. So like, it's kind of
yeah, there's
not a coincidence when you put pieces together.
It is. I saw one thing. I'm not going to be able to articulate it well, but they were like comparing how like in the Bible they talk about the firmament and how like the separated, like when God created, He separated the waters
from the waters.
Yeah, and they were explaining how like they were making an argument for like the flood was just like when that firmament went away and like the water filled up the earth.
I think it's less of it going away, because then everything would be water. I think the way that I always envisioned it is like giant, like I'm gonna say circular, giant circular holes opened up like windows. You're opening windows, and it flooded in, and it raised the water levels higher than all mountains on the planet. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then it was like, because if you look at and you go through the Bible and look at in the beginning, because you just probably got through. The lifespan of people and when it was crazy. The Bible was like hundreds, like multiple years, and I was always confused by that. And I would talk to Law about it, like did or like their years different? Is it just like or like did something actually happen where we don't live longer? And then from my understanding so far that I've gotten is, well, when sin was introduced, we were not putting like a timeline or like, but like progressively human life was getting shorter because of like sin. It was introduced, so it was like, and then but there's a huge shift. I haven't read the middle area, but I believe from what I've seen, there's a huge shift in the age of people before Noah's Ark to after Noah's Ark. And it was something with the flooding, like that was where it shifted to like humans only live like 70 to 100 versus like 100 to 200 years. Yeah. And like in that same video I was watching where they talked about it, like opening up, flood, like filling in, and something to do with that is somehow what I don't remember how they explained it, but that's where it shifted the lifespan. Whether it was, I want to say it was something with like, because when it opened up, like the firmament wasn't there, so we like. The sunlight hits us, so we get more radiation, whatever, from the sun, so it makes our lifespan shorter versus when it wasn't there. And yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah, my take on the change in the lifespan of humans, I always have like 2 different. When I think about it, I come from 2 different perspectives, and like I don't have a lot of information to like be able to argue either one specifically, but like. The first one that I think of is like a lot of the older humans back in the day that were living, not a couple hundred, but like almost a century.
Yeah.
Were like Nephilim or half Nephilim, because like they're not humans. And then as the breeding progressed, it shortened and shortened and shortened, because it's, for example, it would be like a handful of Nephilim and then a bunch of like Neanderthals. So if it's like 1,000-year lifespan and 100-year lifespan, their kid would be like maybe not in the middle, but it would be like an 800, and then it'd be like 600, and then so on and so forth. But then the other one that I think I also lean towards kind of comes from that, where it's like, I don't want to call them like God's chosen few, are these people who lived hundreds and hundreds of years, but there's like the chosen ones, these like superhumans, for example. And then there was like the Neanderthals, which were like the non-super ones, who lived more like our lifespan-esque, maybe a little bit more than what we live now, maybe a little less. But then as time progressed, and then if we're leaning into like Bible-esque points here, it would probably having to do something with that, because the whole story of Noah's Ark, from what my understanding, it was a couple of chapters back. I'm a little into whatever comes after Genesis. I think I'm actually almost done with that one. Whatever's after Genesis, but God was just going to kill everybody, and Noah.
It was like if there's 5, it was like basically. I'm pretty sure it was like if there's 100 good people, would you kill everybody? And it was like No, all right, fine. He was like, if there's
no, I thought that was for Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, okay. Then I'm mixing
because I forget who it was, but whoever was talking to God at the time, because God was going to go and kill everybody in the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was like, oh well, what if this many people? And then God was like, if there's this many, so
and then he was like, what about?
And he kept going lower and lower and lower to like I think it was 10 or 5.
I think he said I want to say 10, but I'm just.
But when it came to happen, it kind of like my understanding is that when God went to the city, essentially he saw that, or he sent his angels or whatever. He saw that there wasn't the number he was looking for, so he killed everybody. He was like, I think it was Abraham. He had him. He was like, take you, your wife, and your kids, and your servants, and walk away from the city. Go here,
and do
not turn around. And his wife turned around, and she turned to salt.
It's funny you brought that up because we were talking about like the Noah's Ark and finding stuff like that proves it like through science. I just saw recently. I didn't like fact check it multiple places, but I saw something saying where it would have been geographically that city, they found like a pillar or just like a natural made pillar about human size that is just pure salt, and there's no other salt around. So it was like they were arguing like this could have been his because there was like it's just this random pillar of salt that it's all salt, and there was no. It's not like there was salt around or anything.
That's interesting.
And they were like making an argument like this could be proving it.
But then going back to the Noah's Ark thing, because again my understanding it could be fuzzy and a little bit off. My understanding was God was going to kill. He was going to flood and kill everybody and everything, and Noah had a conversation with him. I don't remember who initiated the conversation, but I'm not. Take this with a grain of salt. Noah didn't. I don't think Noah convinced God to allow him to do these things. But in the conversation, Noah was granted him, his wife, his 3 sons, and their 3 wives, and 2 of every animal on the planet to live, because the way that humanity had gone up to that point, God wasn't like disappointed, but for lack of better terms, he was disappointed in humanity, and he was just like. Not necessarily done with it, but kind of done with it. And he was going to just wipe it out of existence. And because of the conversation that he had with Noah, he like gave it another chance. I think like Pastor Tim said it the one time, I think, if I remember correctly. Because we were in the car the one time and Mom brought it up. It was a Sunday after that Pastor Tim had brought it up, where it's like God tried numerous times. He came down, tried to like bring the kingdom of heaven down here. Humans failed, and then he left. Yeah. And they tried again, and then he left.
Yeah.
And it was like tons and tons of times he tried over and over and over again. But I think that him wiping out all of existence and then allowing Noah and them to live through it, to then repopulate the world, kind of leads to what you were saying, where that's where a massive shift happens from.
Yeah.
But then also. It could be the whole, the way that time is recorded then and now is completely different. So, because they say like, and 793 years was his days. It could be years how we have years, but then at the same time, it could be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. There's a lot more time before the birth of Jesus and the creation of everything than most people I think understand.
Yeah.
Or like realize, not believe but realize.
Yeah.
Because there's so much has happened, and like the Old Testament is so fucking long.
Mm-hmm.
So much happens, and then the New Testament comes with Jesus Christ, and then it's much shorter, and then it's only been 2,000 years since he walked the earth.
Yeah.
I saw a theory. Somebody was talking about it, where like it talks about how Jesus came, then he died, and then he was gone. Oh, that's gonna be crazy if that didn't record.
That's sick. I don't know if it was.
Well, yours is the first one. Mine's the second one.
Yeah.
When you were tapping it looked like it was going.
Talk. It might be bad audio, but I might just have to turn that audio up for me.
We'll see what happens.
All right, anyway.
We'll play with it. But the theory the guy had brought to, it was on a podcast of some kind. I just saw a snippet on Instagram or YouTube. And the guy was saying how, he was like, doesn't it really feel like Satan is here right now? Like, this is the 1,000 years or however long it was that Satan reigns supreme before Jesus comes back again. not like the coming back that we, but it's like the next grouping of it. Because it's like Satan gets locked away. It's like 2,000 years or whatever of Jesus with his kingdom on earth. And then they let Satan out for a period of time, and then he gets locked up again for eternity. What if this is that period of time? This is that 1,000 years or whatever. So I thought it was interesting. I don't believe it. I just thought it was interesting food for thought that the guy had brought up to his co-hosts or whatever. Because it really does feel like Satan is running fucking laps right now. You know, with all the crazy shit on the world.
Yeah, it's also that, or I know I'm pretty sure Pastor Tim talked about it too. Like leading up to Jesus coming back. I mean, this is what me and I'll talk about all the time. That more and more it feels like we're like, obviously I don't put any sort of like he's coming back. He's about to come back, but like it does feel like that because it said that like Satan will work harder and harder to get more people on his side. The more and more closer we get to it, because he knows he loses that battle.
He's running out of time.
So he's getting as many people because he doesn't have to. Like one of the best things I heard was the Satan he's not trying to be like everyone picture Satan as like trying to pull you into hell. Like all he's trying to do is separate you from God. That's all he has to do. Because if he can separate you from God, when that happens, you're by default going on his side. So it's like all he has to do is separate you. So that's why like I was talking to James about before he came to church, me and him were having I just texted him. I was like, yo, like let's just like have like a debate over like Christianity and stuff, because like he's pretty educated, and like I just wanted to do it for myself just so I can see where I don't know things. And I figured that was the best way, going against somebody who's so we're talking about it. And one of the points I came to was there's a lot of people who are like pushed away from Christianity and from God because they grew up in like Catholic schools, Catholic church, and like that. And I was like, now think about this. Wouldn't it be like the best tactic for Satan to get people to not be on God's side, to like make not a fake religion, but like pose as a sector of Christianity and then make you hate it? Like that'd be the easiest way to make you not like him, is just pose as him and do all these things that make you so. That's why you see all these stuff with like priest and kid, like all this stuff, and it's like, wouldn't it be like the best move for Jesus for the devil?
Good move.
I was like that. Like that's why I feel like there's so many people who are so like jaded to God because they grew up in these schools or whatever. They had bad religious leaders feed them the wrong information. It's like you see that as like, oh, so you project that onto God, but it's like it's just the devil putting a mask on that looks like it and making you go against it. Because all he has to do, he doesn't have to convince you that he's best. He just has to convince you you're better. Like you're fine without this. You don't need that. You're human. You know what to do.
That's a pretty good point.
Yeah, I always looked at it that way. So now I'm always like looking at things that, because I always just go back to the point of like, and whenever somebody's like, well, why would God do this, let this negative thing happen? And it's like, well, he gave us free will. So like part of having free will is like allowing us to do our own thing. If he stopped us from doing things, that wouldn't be free will. So yeah, like that leaves room open for the devil to come in and just poses like that, like going back to that point. Yeah, like not to repeat it, but it'd be so like, to me, if my goal is to make people not like you, instead of like,
I'm going to pretend.
I was going to say, instead of just putting out signs and like, this is why you're wrong, this is why you're wrong, especially if I know, being the devil, I know that if they look into you, that's right. It'd be way harder to just try to convince everybody you're wrong. Mm-hmm. Instead, I'll just pretend to be you and do all things so you look at those things as like,
Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
Like to like, that's like where like that kind of comparison. Everyone's talking like afraid of AI because they could just AI a president saying something and start a war. It's the same thing. It's the devil pretending AIing himself to look like Jesus and be like, this is what I believe. Kill people. And it's like, I don't want to follow somebody who would do this. It's like, no, that's like, and then it just becomes down to like to decipher, because it always is like what like God's will is from what Jesus says. It's like the most important thing is to have faith in him and to love everybody. So it's like anything that is pointing you away from that in any way, that's a human being projecting human things and using God as a thing. Any of the religions that like that separate that's not God's will. So that's why that's to me the devil at work. And then kind of going back to your point of like it being the time where like the in between period that it like when Satan's ruling, like it definitely. I mean, yeah, like I believe
it almost feels like
I believe we're getting more and more close. I'm sure it always felt like that we're getting closer to Jesus coming back because Satan's working hard. And like you see just so much negativity. I'm losing the point that I had with that. But I mean, yeah, that's why you see it running so rampant.
I think to your point there, I think another indicator, at least to me, why it feels like the resurrection of Christ is like around the corner, right? Is there's such a massive resurgence, such a huge boom of people finding faith, specifically in Christianity. And then going to what you were saying a few minutes ago, like about how like the devil posing as like fake Christians and a fake God or whatever. My personal reason why I came to like having full belief in Christianity as a whole is what I did was I looked at not all religions because I don't know every single religion that ever existed, but I looked at all the religions that I am like aware of, and 8 times before I get this point out of my mouth. Sorry, I got distracted. So I looked at all of the different religions that I was aware of at the time, and out of all the things that I looked at, only one of them stood out to me that was different than the rest, and that was Christianity. And the thing that stood out the most was that Christianity is the one and only religion that is love-based and oriented. The rest of them, much like how like Pastor Tim talks about it and everything, where it's like every other religion is like, do good deeds, you're going to be rewarded, blah, 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 blah. Whereas Christianity is like, just have faith in me and you have a free ticket to heaven. Where it's like, that is love oriented, where it's like, that love thy neighbor. It's everything else is like, we're better than you because of XYZ. It's we're the anointed ones. We're the ones going to heaven. We're the ones blah, 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 blah. Don't believe in this. Don't believe in that, but yada, yada, yada. And I think also a lot of people kind of get jaded with religion is because pretty much 99% of religions aside from Christianity. And then not to say that people who are of the Christian faith don't do this. I'm sure there's a fair handful of people out there who actually do this too. I think it's a human thing more or less, but where it's like, I'm going to compare you and almost condemn you for not believing what I believe in. Whereas if you follow Christianity the way that Christ expressed for us to do so, it's like meet people where they're at and share with them, what is within you, but don't like, you can't really like force somebody into it. It's just showing them the doorway, like you can open the door for you, but I can't force you to walk through it. And to me, that's very love oriented, cause like to me, allowing somebody to come into the door shows it shows faith, the little pun there, but it shows a lot of like respect and a lot of love for, the person you're interacting with. Whereas like forcing somebody into it is completely the opposite of love. It's like, I'm like, you have to do this one thing, and like people can make the argument of like, oh, well, Jesus says you have to have faith in him to XYZ. And like, I understand where you're kind of coming from, but if you look at everything that he did in his life, he didn't force anybody to do anything. No. And he never told anybody to force anybody to do anything.
No, he just it was just spread the word and yep. yeah. It's not like a force. And I think that, I mean, to me, more proof of like not forcing it is how you prove love. I use it with the analogy of going to Adam and Eve. It's like, well, why would God even put this thing they can't have? It's like, because to know, if you don't have, like, to know somebody, for him to know they truly love him, like, if there was no other option, you never know if somebody truly loves you. If it was just you and one other person on an island, that's the only person you ever met. But you, like, I'm trying to think how to explain this. But
I see the picture you're painting.
If there was no other options, like, I just love you out of default. You don't, but you don't know it. Like, because it's just by default, not like real love. Real love is like knowing you picked me over other thing. That's real love.
Well, that's the best explanation when anybody brings up the whole like, well, if God is like pure good or whatever, pure love and everything, why did he allow all this bad stuff to happen and give everybody free will? Well, it's because the only way to show your actual love for, Christ and for God is for you to make the choice.
Yeah.
If
there was
he
no other
didn't,
choice. Yeah.
if he didn't give free will, so and by default everybody just loved God, then there would be the world would be void of love because the world is full of like fake love essentially.
Yeah, because you would never know, like you don't, like it's like you're like you play the Sims, the Sims don't love you because they're just programmed things doing the thing. That's what we'd be if we weren't giving free will to choose. And it's like, I think a huge sign of like the fact that he does, like it is true love, is the fact that he gives us free will. Like he allows that, like obviously, like it sounds bad, but he allows people to not listen to him and do these terrible things is a sign of love. Like it's like a parent that really loves somebody and they just like, even if it doesn't follow what like their life, like I'm a doctor, I want my kid to be a doctor, but I love them so much. So if they want to go be a construction worker or something else, it's like I love them, so I respect them to go choose their own thing, even if it's not what I feel. And I know being a doctor will give you a more secure life. Choosing to be a on the road salesman is like a harder life, but because I love them, I let them do what they choose to do. Giving us that choice shows that he like loved, like he has so much love. Yeah, but like without the free will, it would like.
But that also goes back to the whole Adam and Eve thing. Is I don't remember where I heard this from, but people like I've heard people ask like, well, if they were allowed to have anything except for the fruit from the tree of knowledge, why would he put the tree in the garden?
I think I talked to you about this.
You might have. As I say this, the light bulb might go off. You might have been the one who said this.
Yeah, about putting the money down.
Well, it's God's garden. God can put whatever he wants in the garden. Yeah. Yep. Like he's not gonna he didn't make the garden for humanity. It's his garden. Yeah. He just put Adam in there and then gave Adam Eve, and then they had free will, much like our conversation right now. And then, the snake convinced Eve, and then Eve took the apple and then served it to her husband, and then he ate it, and then God came and what did you do?
Yeah, the analogy I've heard, with that is like the same way it starts. Like it's his garden; he could put it wherever he wants. The analogy that kind of clicked for me was, if you have a parent, it's their house. I could put my belongings wherever I want. So a parent puts $100.
The one who said this. And we might actually had talked about this on the previous episode.
I don't know if I was talking about the episode or I just talked to you about it, but I'll just read. But yeah, like it's a parent's house. The parent is God. The house is the earth or the garden. And it's my house. I put my $100 bill on the table right here. It's my $100 bill. I could put it there. If the kid comes and takes it and spends it or comes and rips it up, like it's crazy for the kid to go, well, if you didn't want me to touch it, like you shouldn't have put it where I can reach it. It's like, well, it's my stuff. I can or if I just walk into your house and I go and I just take one of your things, you go, well, if you don't want me to have it, why'd you put it in your house? I go, what do you mean? It's my house. It doesn't and to show you have true love for that being, I would respect you and not touch your stuff. So by them taking the apple, they prove they separate themselves by showing they don't have true love because they just took something that is theirs, not theirs. It's
I wouldn't call it my understanding. My perspective of the whole Adam and Eve thing, where yes, the reason why he took them out of the garden after they ate from the tree of knowledge was because they ate from the tree of knowledge, but my perspective when I think about it and when I listen to it or read about it or whatever, is that a large portion of why they did he gave the separation and banned them from the garden essentially, to walk the earth for all eternity, is because in that moment Adam showed more love for his wife than he had for God, because Adam at that moment could have said no to Eve serving him the apple, but he didn't. He said yes, because the snake didn't trick Adam.
The
snake tricked Eve. And Eve fed the apple to Adam.
And I'm pretty sure, again, maybe somebody fact check it, but I'm pretty sure that God didn't tell them both not to eat from the tree. He told Adam. So
I think it was before Eve was created.
It should have. So like, it's funny. I saw a video. Somebody made this analogy, just stealing everyone's things I've saw and just compiling them. But in the ideal world, Eve bit the apple, brought it to Adam. He should have paid for her sin there with his life, and that would have been instead of Jesus having to give his life, he would have done it, and that would have wiped sin out from the jump, and we would have been good and not had sin. Obviously, it could have happened again with somebody else. I heard
this too. Maybe Pastor Tim mentioned this at somebody, because somebody called
Jesus the second Adam.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, because he's redoing what he should have been when Eve made that first sin. Instead of letting sin just become part of the DNA and into the kids, he could have sacrificed for that.
Yeah, because he took from the tree. So what he took from the tree, that's why Jesus was nailed to a tree.
Back to it, yeah. Yep. Because I don't know the clip you're talking about. It's they ate the food, so in order to return, they took something off the tree, so to make up for that, you have to return it, so they put it on the tree. And the reason it wasn't just like they ate the apple, so where's the apple? It's inside the body, so the body has to go onto the tree because that's where the apple is. It's not just like you can put the apple back. They ate it, so...
I'm just thinking as we're talking, Eve came from Adam, from his rib. Yeah. Isn't it a little crazy that when Jesus was up on the cross, he was stabbed in the ribs?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It literally just dawned upon me while we were talking about it.
Yeah, I never
Because you were talking about, took the apple, blah, blah, blah,
so the body had to go up. He was,
stabbed in the ribs.
Yeah.
That's a little crazy. I thought about that.
It's like it all
connects. It's crazy how it all connects. It's insane. Wow.
Yeah, it definitely is.
This is going to be a hard podcast for me to figure out a title for.
Yeah, I was going to say it's animals.
I'm just going to be back from Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
I got to think of what I'm going to put in the thumbnail, though.
Yeah, it definitely.
Our return.
Definitely, I mean, just one other clip that I found funny, but just to wrap it up, which it was like a stand. I think he was doing stand up, but he was like talking in front of a crowd, but he was making like the joke was somebody was talking about how there's like back in the good old days, and he was saying how like there's never been like the good old days when there wasn't all this like ever, like somebody was like, all these people are killing each other now, like back in the good old days, like there never was good old days. You go all the way back to when Adam and Eve had when there was Cain and Abel. Cain was the third person on earth. He killed the fourth person on earth, and then I don't want to steal his whole like clip, but like I just found it mad funny because like he started breaking it down where it was like, he killed 1/4 of the pipe. No genocide has ever killed 1/4 of the human population. He did. He was like, when you were alive at that time, you had a 66% chance of being alive. Like,
yeah. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I've seen that clip. That's some funny shit.
Yeah, but it's funny that my feed has just become like I've fully flipped my Instagram Reels feed. It's just Christian stuff and like Christian humor. And Law would always say like Christian humor and Christian music, like Christian rap specifically, are like some of the best. Like you obviously need to know the Bible for it to hit, but it just hits so good because like Christian rappers, just for even the ones I've started listening to now, are some of the best wordsmiths because it's like the amount of like Bible analogies connected to other stuff is just so much more like thought put out to make it work versus just like rhyming words of like, it's not just like connecting the different things. And then like Christian humor is just so like, now I find it so funny. Like the one, there was like an AI, all the AI videos of like animals talking. It was 2 tigers talking, and it was like, you get the invite to the ark, and the other tiger was like, what ark? And he was like, oh, you're cooked, bro. Like, bro, it's just like the Christian humor stuff be so funny to me. Oh my God.
Yeah, most of my Instagram feed has flipped to that. My YouTube Shorts feed is just video game stuff because that's all I watch on. But most of my Instagram stuff is all Christian stuff. I think what helps a lot with that is me and Danny send a lot of shit back and forth, and like when we were working at the tattoo shop, we've been doing this since we met, and a lot of it was just like jokes and like dark humor and like dark shit and stuff, and it make us laugh and whatnot. And like as our friendship progressed and we like expressed more of our faiths to one another, and we kind of like some more common ground and stuff, we'll send each other like a lot of Christian stuff and Bible readings and these things, and so like that also helps reinforce my feed going through.
I mean,
pretty cool.
mine's fully, because like I've gotten, so the more and more my faith builds, the more like I just have no interest in or like any other stuff, because I just like, the first filter I see it as is like, this is just distracting me from what's important, from putting my attention in God and the work I need to do on earth. And then it's just like, the more I have that, is like all this like human man-made stuff, it just feels so like, it's just like a waste is not the right, but just like so like meaningless, and just so like it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't like hit the same like it used to, because it was just like distracting of like life. And then I just like everyone says, like once I found faith, like it just brings such a peace about the rest of the earth that it's like I feel no need for all these distraction things, because it's like most of that stuff is because you're trying to distract yourself from your life. But having this faith, it's like even when stuff's bad or hard in life, it's like there's such a bigger purpose to it that it like I don't need to be distracted from this, because it's like, yeah, like I'm not.
I will say to your point there, I have found within myself, like the more that I progress through this journey, the stronger this feeling becomes. And it's been pretty strong for a while now, probably since around the time I got fired from the tattoo shop, maybe a little bit before that, because I was like hell bent on my personal spiritual journey. And a lot of it, without even realizing it, was like Jesus oriented, the way that he like, does his stuff. But as like I keep progressing through my journey now, I find that very, very rarely now do I find moments where I'm not at peace. The only moments of not peace that I find is when there's a lot of human interaction going on, where there's just a lot of chaos. But aside from that, like pretty much any time that I have moments of like peace and silence, whether it's I'm sitting in the car or I'm laying in bed or like in the mornings or whatever, it's like the most enjoyable, and like it just feels good. Like I'm glowing.
You can't
almost.
even, you can't even like I couldn't articulate it to somebody, and that's why like I feel like I understand when people are so like you need to come to church, you need to like learn about it, and like it turns negative or like it feels like they're forcing you, but it's just because like I can't articulate how like this piece and like things don't
like
affect me. Yeah, and it's just like such a level, and like I find that too. Like I won't say I have like no anxiety since like I've found like my faith, and like but it's like it comes for like little bursts, and I recognize it immediately, because it's like when I'm just being distracted by human stuff, and it's like even the days that now have been so stressful or so full of stuff, if I read the Bible in the morning, if I keep reminding myself of the scriptures I like, and like just keep that around, it like there is an anxiety, because it's like it just reminds you again like how like you were doing all this stuff for that, and it's just like this bigger, like this piece that just goes over everything. Yeah, it's definitely like
you probably also, I mean, I'm only speaking from like my personal experience, but I would assume it's very similar, is like you probably, it's probably a little less of you are being hit with less anxiety, or anxiety less frequently, but it's more of like your like mental fortitude and mental clarity help. Like earlier on, it was probably more of a like a conscious thing, and now it's a very subconscious thing, where it's you're able to like deal with and handle the anxiety in a way where you don't even recognize it anymore. Yeah. And the only times you really do is during these very human,
when it slips, like not the faith slips, but like when you get distracted, like when the devil works and he distracts you from that, because he like I get it now, because it's like the devil knows like if you have this full like you're surrounded by it all the time, nothing can penetrate you, so that he uses these human things to kind of distract you, and like he doesn't have to like it doesn't have to throw bad stuff at you, because that like something bad happening doesn't work. All he has to do is distract you enough to keep you not thinking about it for a couple of days, and then you will slowly fall into the rut of like, and then it catches up. But yeah, it's like I just had a point on that. Yeah, it's like when we first started this podcast, like early in the podcast, and I was like really like struggling with like dealing with my ego and trying to face that as I like shift the company. It's like I found that like almost fully gone now. Like it still pops up here and there, but like the more I like read the Bible and understand it and like learn it, like I won't even say understand it, but the more I read it and like just know stuff in it that I can like think of, it's like the moment I'll feel like ego popping up, like I go back to like this is like a human thing. This is like the devil working against me, and like, and then I just like going back to the point you made a couple episodes ago, just thinking about like Jesus, and it's like there isn't a point. And then right now I'm reading Luke. Luke's a good I found out like Law was telling me I just the book of Luke is 24 chapters. So there's this thing that Christians do. Like I've seen every December.
Oh,
every
yeah,
day
she
you
was
read
talking about
one
that.
chapter of Luke because but you finish it on Christmas Eve. So like Bryce Crawford, his podcast this whole month,
It's all Luke.
every day he's going over one chapter of Luke for every day up leading to Christmas.
That's pretty cool.
So I started doing that. I was reading Mark and I just stopped, and today I read the first and second chapter of Luke. Tomorrow I'll read 3. But the point, going on that point, like, yeah, it's like realize like the ego is just a man-made thing, and it's like that it's like wrong for me to have because we're all obviously made in God's image, and like ego is just purely validation from humans to like validate me. Like that's where it builds from, like feeling like a lack of like validation from humans, and it's like that's like God doesn't care about how dope my videos are. He wants me to do good work, but he doesn't care about doing cool videos. Like, so it's like when you feel that, it's like this is a human on human and like feeling that like isn't like nothing's gonna quench this if I sit in this and just let that become like try to solve like it's an endless battle of like it's pointless. And the today in Luke chapter 2 they talk about Jesus's birth, the most I've seen so far from Matthew and Mark, because Luke didn't know Jesus. He's one of the I think the only gospel that he didn't personally know Luke, but he was a doctor and historian. And like the first lines are literally him saying I'm setting out, like many people have recorded Jesus's life, but like I feel like I'm setting out to really like document Jesus's life as best as I can because I want future generations to know. So he didn't know him, but like he was a historian at the time, so he set out with the intention to document it as accurately as he could so people could read it. And then in Jesus' early years, leading up to when he's 12, that's where I got so far. He talks about, so Mary, obviously Jesus' mom, John the Baptist. I don't know if you got to him because you were reading.
I know who he is.
John the Baptist. John the Baptist is one of Jesus' cousins, which I didn't know reading the early on until I got to Luke. Like I heard it and then, but like it confirmed it reading that. And John the Baptist's dad, Zechariah, they basically like he got him and his wife. I don't remember the wife's name, but Zechariah and his wife, John the Baptist's parents, got the revelation that they were going to have a son, and straight up told like your son's going to pave the way for the Messiah. Like so, basically, your brother or second would like because if they're cousins, I don't know. It doesn't say if they're direct cousins, like if Mary and the other girl are sisters or like, but your relative is going to give birth to the Messiah. And in my brain, as humans, I was like, Zechariah is just like hyped. He's not low key like, damn, why isn't my son like? Why is my son not the Messiah? Why is your son
sick?
And he's just excited. And I was like, wow, yeah, like to have that level, because it'd be ego for him to be like, I want my son to be the Messiah. Why is it? And like it was not that at all. And I was like, wow, that's like to like know that like my cousin is the Messiah, and I just want to pave the way so he can. And it's like having that level of like, yeah. So why do I care about any other director making a cooler bit? It's like what? Like I just want to do good works and like. And like reading that today was really like a damn, yeah, if this dude like knew his son was gonna be like to pave the way, not to like put that position down at all, but like to know like his cousin is gonna be the Messiah, and he's just so excited to like do good works and lay it out. It's like, yeah, like we should have that same level of like faith and like just do good works. Don't care about like you having, and like I put in my perspective of like running the company. It's like I don't need to like have this pride like, no, I gotta be the Messiah. Not, this is blasphemy, but like I gotta be the guy. It's like, no, like I just have to do the work. It's like having that ego is such like a work of the devil.
Yeah, just paving the way. It's good to in those moments to like humble yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the big things. Like I have so many like that was one of the first like the one of the first passage, not like one of the first in scripture that I memorized. It's Philippians 2:3. It's all about. It literally says, "Don't be selfish. Treat view others better than you view yourself." Like basically, like that. That's like 2:3, and I think 2:4 is like similar on that. But it literally says like, "Don't be selfish. Like view others as yourself. Like do good works. Like always put others before yourself." So like when I was dealing with ego, I literally looked up like what scriptures talk about ego, and like And every day I just go back, as soon as I feel a little bit of ego or feel a bit like, oh damn, this person did this, like I need to prove that I literally just go back. I have it on my desk, I have it on the whiteboard in my office, and I just go back to that where it's like, yeah, like don't like treat others better than yourself, view others better than you. Just do good works and like don't have ego, because that is not in line with Jesus to have, because even Jesus didn't have like an ego of like, obviously he said like I'm the Messiah, this and this, but it wasn't like he came just to correct the false teachings that were there. But like he didn't have ego. He worked as a carpenter for however many years. He did like he sacrificed his life. He could have easily been like, I am God. Like we are one. Like I'm not gonna sacrifice. Like, and he sacrificed for everybody. So like to just separate that ego is
I think it's like for me, as I like learn more about all this, it's cool to me. We can wrap up in a second.
Oh yeah,
because we've been going for
still going
a nice minute, a nice little extra little long episode on our return. But like the more I learn about Jesus and all these things, and like I was very intrigued by like Stoicism. Like that's why I bought the Marcus Aurelius book and everything, which I still have not finished. But for like the longest time, for like probably somewhere around 17 or 18 maybe, like I always kind of felt like I didn't fit in with a lot of people, and I think I identified a lot of my internal reasonings why, but I could never really give it like a label. And the more that I learn about a lot of this thing, like I would feel something would happen, or I would interact with a person, or people around me or whatever, and I would always feel a type of way, but I could never fully like articulate it well. Like not that I was trying to talk but to myself. And the more that I like read about all this stuff and educate myself on all of this stuff, I find it almost funny. There's like a little bit of humor to myself in like all of these things that I always felt weird and off, or like I'm not like other people, and like I could never find anybody who was like me, or like acted like me, or treated people like I did, and these things. I always thought that I was the weird one. I was the problem, like because I wasn't like normal, right? But the more that I like learn about all these things, it's just more and more like, I'm not trying to say that I'm Jesus or like Jesus or whatever in any way, shape, or form, but a lot of my mental stuff lines up, and has for a long time lined up so heavily with the teachings of Christ. And I never really acted against it, but I never really acted upon it. Like I would always like, something would happen, like there would be an argument, or like, something with another person, and I would always feel a way about it, like, why is this and why is that, or why are you doing, yada, yada, yada. And like, I always felt off and weird, but I feel almost like vindicated in like, there's like a lot of my many, like the last decade and change maybe, just line up so heavily with the teachings. Like I've always been very big on treating others how you want to be treated. I've always been big on being able to put myself in other people's shoes and trying to do unto them how I think that, like if I was in their position, yada, yada, yada. And like all of these things, and like, yo, what's going on?
Anything you need from me, or
no.
Sit your stand back up, sir.
Hey.
In the family circle, but I'm here.
A nice cameo.
A little bit.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll be in. Yep.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Meeting at 12. You have work?
No, I'm off tomorrow.
At noon, we're having like a team meeting with everybody.
I'll show up. I'll be there. I'll help you. I got you, bro. 12?
Yeah, noon.
Here at 12?
Yeah.
Okay. But going back to what I was saying, so much of my life and so much of like, I always had like a lot of uncertainty and everything, but like as I learn more about all this stuff, I feel like I'm now more in the understanding that I was never really wrong, and like my uncertainty wasn't misplaced per se, but it was because I just didn't really have the knowledge and the understanding of like where this comes from, or like, cause it I didn't like learn it from anybody. I didn't like hear it from anybody. I didn't watch anybody do it. It just kind of like naturally came to me. And the more I learn about it, the better I feel about myself and who I've always been and who I am now and who I will be moving forward. Because I've always liked the way that, you know, like Christ lived his life and the way that his teachings are and all these things. And like, I think that's like the best thing is like, just go with love, just go with faith, go with love, treat people with respect. And like I can be a petty person sometimes, like more internally than externally. And like, you know, if someone wrongs me, I'm human. So I would like to do wrong to them too. But like, even when I got fired from the liquor store, not the liquor store, the tattoo shop, like in every single moment that following him saying you're fired through, not the president, I'm over it by a long shot now. But like, I always stopped myself from saying things about like, I want him to lose, blah, 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 blah. He deserves yada, yada, yada. It's like, I, as a human, want that because it'll make me feel better about getting fired. But I know, you know, it's wrong of me to wish that upon other people. But then I also have the understanding of like, what you put out kind of comes back to you. So I always felt like I don't need to feel these negative ways, because if you wronged me, it will come back around to you. Like karma's real in a sense.
I mean, that's that innate, like almost calling, or just like you internally know, like that is the Holy Spirit. That's what like it is said to be the Holy Spirit. It's like that innate thing that you know, like right from wrong, because like that's one of the big arguments I always see from people talk about like debating like atheists on like, well then where does this right and wrong come? Because like how do we, because then if there's no God to say what is right and wrong, then it's just subjective to everybody. So somebody who goes and murders 100 people, they could say that is right, and if there's no but like I personally feel like everybody, obviously there's like cases where there's like mental imbalances, but I personally feel like we know what is right and wrong, and it's not just because you're following the law, I'm going to get arrested, but like in your heart, you do something bad, even people who are shitty people. I don't believe that there isn't a part of them that at some point they lay down at night that they can tell it was wrong, but they might feel it for a second, like I know that was wrong, but then that flesh comes back where it's like, no, I want that, and like they let their flesh, but like I believe we all have that internal, we know like, this just is wrong. We know this is wrong. And that's why I feel like you even see a lot of like murderers and stuff. People like they like go crazy from doing it because they're fighting that, they're suppressing that for so long of like knowing this is wrong, but like they let their flesh win and they just go on the urges, and like, and that's why all those things, even like not even like murder, as simple as like people who go with their flesh and like go have sex with a bunch of people, like it always ends, in my like view, ends in some sort of depression or some sort of like lower status, because you're going against this innate thing you know that is wrong. So it's like, to me, even before you knew it, you had the Holy Spirit in you to give you this guidance that you didn't even know was, that's what it was.
It's always been like hyper powerful, like loud in my head, like in my chest. Like it's always been like very large and loud. And it was like uncomfortable for a long time. And like interacting with Danny and Dave at the tattoo shop and like experiencing more spiritual practices and learning and stuff. That's still on. And then like learning about Christianity and Jesus and these things now. It helps me. It has helped me be able to articulate it for myself so that I can understand it within myself more. Yeah. I could never tell you where it comes from.
Yeah. That's just like, I mean, like I was the same way, like growing up, like, yeah, like I had like just doing somebody wrong, hurting somebody in any way, emotionally, physically, always just like felt so innately wrong to me. Even not even from the perspective of like, it'll come back to me like karma, like just saying, like I've always like it to like the best I could articulate it always was like, it felt like this just isn't worth it. Like somebody screams at me, curses me out, like it just doesn't feel worth it to like go back at them. It's just like not, like I've always felt that same thing of like this innate, even like in relationships, just want like my flesh be like, oh, girls are hot, I want to hook up with people, but like I was never that person. I was always looking for a relationship. Or even for my first relationship, it was like I'm just looking for, like, as long back as I can remember, my first relationship in high school, it's like I was just looking for one person, and no part of me was looking to like find multiple people. That it's like, yeah, just this innate calling towards these things. So and it's nice to now read the Bible and like confirm those things. And it's like, yeah, and like, and I can more consciously draw conclusions to like people who do all these things, and they're just as much like they've got the guy who sleeps around or a girl who sleeps around, like they say they love that, it makes them happy, but those people I always find are very unhappy, or they have waves of depression, and it's like you're just doing these things, like you're just filling your life with these things, and like that aren't right. Even if like I get that your flesh calls to it, because like that's just like, even like that's what they say, like the hardest sin, to the only sin they tell you to literally run from is like the urge, to like want to have sex with people, because literally I don't know if it's God or in Jesus' teachings that it's literally, they literally say like run from that one, because like you as a human body, your flesh will succumb to that one. Like go to scripture and like literally run from it, because like it's the hardest sin to not do. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like people who fill their days with these stuff, like, because it feels good in the flesh. It's like things that feel good in our flesh, typically it's like opposites. I find if it feels good in the flesh, it probably isn't good for the soul. And like we're just trying to please the flesh because it feels good in that moment, but like that eternal peace and happiness comes from doing what's good in the soul. And like using the workout analogy, workout hurts in the flesh, but it feels good in the soul. Like it's rewarding it, like, and that's just like a physical thing. But yeah, most things that like feel good in the flesh aren't good for the soul, and vice versa. Things that are good for the soul don't always feel good in the flesh. Like even people who, like you'd be wrong, I personally believe, to say like, and even somebody who's happily married for however many years, if you look at a supermodel, either sex, to not be like attracted. It's like, obviously we don't, like, you look at it and you can go, that person's hot, and like it ends there, but like that's just in us as humans. So it feels good in the flesh to be like, oh, I have sex, but like it feels better in the soul to find a partner and have a connection that like can withstand like time and go through life together.
Yeah.
That was kind of a ramble, but
yeah, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. You know, you cheat on me, I cheat on you. Guess what happens? Everything falls apart.
Yeah.
So,
well, have fun titling this one.
yeah, I was brainstorming while we were chit chatting. I think I kind of have it figured out.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna go figure out this audio. It might be bad audio. Sorry if there's terrible audio for me on this one, but there's audio because at the very worst, I got the camera audio, but there might be bad audio on this one. But hey, until next time, until next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.